Hello and welcome to Brodual, and welcome to the first part of our Skyrim Redone series. This episode was originally going to cover the modules and give basic installation info, but given the comments on the first video we decided to also include why we like Skyrim Redone and whether it's the type of overhaul for you. Skyrim Redone comes in a modular release, which means you can download and use any of the given modules separately. In fact, you don't even need the core module, and if you like the changes made in the races module only, then you can just use that. However, it's important to keep in mind that although they can be used separately, they were also designed to complement and work alongside the other modules. So for example, the enemy AI, scaling and encounter modules make a nice package that will help transform enemies in combat. We'll go into much more detail during the upcoming episodes, but until then let's cover a few basic things so you can decide whether Skyrim Redone is for you. In most cases, overhaul mods don't work together because the changes they make will clash, so you can't use Skyrim Redone with Requiem. So if you're still playing the game through with Requiem, then you'll need to finish that and come back to this later. Skyrim Redone also requires you start a new game with the mod installed, as installing the mod on an existing save will inevitably cause issues. In comparison to Requiem, Skyrim Redone is more of a focused perk overhaul that expands to offer more customization, paths to take and a more detailed character progression. Requiem is pretty much a full package, and it changes everything from dragons, static items, potions and even the UI. Skyrim Redone on the other hand mainly stays focuses on the changes to the perks and expands from there. It doesn't change things like dragons, mythical beasts, textures or the UI. Requiem is also much more strict, and you'll find yourself being extremely weak at the start of a playthrough until you slowly build yourself up on the unleveled enemies. Skyrim Redone on the other hand is less strict, and your starting position is similar to that of the vanilla game, and you can enhance the missing features like UI changes and dragons with other mods like Mighty Dragons and Immersive HUD. We also think that Skyrim Redone is better for players who have played through the vanilla game once or twice, whereas Requiem is better for players who have plenty of experience with the vanilla game and want a more dramatic overhaul. From our personal experience with the mod, generally speaking, we liked how there aren't any simple paths to take. You can't just level up all one-handed weapons and suddenly become unstoppable only a few hours into the playthrough. Reading and learning all of the different perks also really mixed things up, and was probably my favourite thing about Skyrim Redone. Just learning that I could now be a field alchemist that specialises in explosives, or an adventurer that uses traps and tracking skills, while also gaining survivalism perks that work alongside Frostfall. All of the changes come together to unlock hundreds of new playstyles and options for you to take, and it makes the vanilla game seem severely limited in comparison. So if you're looking for a way to reignite lost interest in Skyrim, then we think Skyrim Redone is the way to go. The game is still the good old Skyrim that you're used to, but now with more rewarding and challenging gameplay. It's definitely not perfect, and we'll cover some of the downsides in the upcoming episodes. The installation process for Skyrim Redone is extremely easy as long as you have the required Dawnguard and Dragonborn DLCs. It just installs like any other mod, and you'll get to easily choose which modules you want installed. However, if you don't have any of the DLCs, then you'll need to download older versions of the mod and manually install the modules you want. The process is a little longer and you'll be missing features because they use older versions, so we definitely recommend you get your hands on the DLC before trying Skyrim Redone. The only other requirements are SKSC and the Skyrim community on Kappa, and links for both can be found on the mod page. If you struggle with installation, then be sure to follow the step-by-step in the official Skyrim Redone guide, which we'll include a link for down below. However, we suggest you don't fully read through the guide as it'll spoil some of the changes that are best seen firsthand during your playthrough. And that's pretty much everything you need to know. The next episodes will hopefully be complimentary alongside a playthrough, but still informative enough for anyone that wants to watch through the entire series and play through Skyrim Redone at a later date. So until then, be sure to leave any comments, suggestions or thoughts down below, and thanks for watching.